weird fucking guys. You're doing a manly thing, and you're a fucking dork.
I've got my lightsaber wearing my Pokemon hat today. Like, what the fuck is this shit?
Wow, you're a real Renaissance man, you know that?
Goddamn man-child.
What a fucking dork.
Yeah. But he's our dork.
This is not for children.
It is a fucking groggy Sunday morning for me, man.
I was trying to fart, but I didn't want to shit my pants.
Oh.
I'm at that age. I was trying to I thought it would be like childishly humorous if I just a little.
But it could have.
But I'm scared to death that I might shit my pants.
I'm
taking these antibiotics, dude, because
they fucking loosen you up sometimes.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I'm an old person.
Yeah.
That's what happens here. I think I'm going through a midlife crisis. I think I am, dude. I swear to God.
Because why?
I don't know, man. I'm 42. I'm scared of fucking death. I'm scared of death.
Yeah.
Of dying.
Right.
I'm thinking about it a lot. I'm like, okay, we got to get the life insurance policies fixed out. We got to get a trust going for the kids. I don't really own anything, but I'm going to give them, I don't know, my chessboard. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know?
Nah, man. I've been worrying about that since I was young.
Yeah, well, you had kids young, you know?
Well, no,
so...
I just always worry about death. Always.
Really?
Yeah, I dread it.
It's fucking scary, man.
It is scary.
Well, so you have a direct connection. You know, your father passed away when you were pretty young.
Yep.
So, this is morbid. This is
yeah, man. Come on. What the fuck? No.
So anyway, I almost shit my pants.
And I'm scared that I'm gonna die soon. But
So what was I gonna say? We're still waking up, dude.
Yeah, man.
You texted me at 6:30, and you're like, "Hey, man, I'm on
was
the way."
it 6:30 or was
Dude,
it earlier than that?
I was laying in bed.
I was up at 5:30, and I was like, maybe I'll text him now. I was like, nah, you know what?
I did wake up at 5:30, and
Yeah.
I didn't. I looked over at my phone, and I was like, "Yep, going back to bed."
Yeah, I was going to, and then I was like, I'm gonna lay here for another 20 minutes or so.
Yeah.
I just wasn't quite ready to get up.
So for a long time, for the last 10 or 15 years, I've been the dude that literally jumps out of bed at 5 or 5:30 in the morning, and I'm slowly getting back to fuck that, dude.
I'm gonna lay down a little bit longer.
I'm gonna reset the alarm for another half an hour, because I know my window. I know what it's gonna take for me to get out the door and get done what I need to get done. You know. I'm like, fuck that. Let's enjoy this. You know.
Best part of waking up is going back to bed.
Or my coffee. I do love my coffee.
Yeah, no, it's a little jingle for Folgers.
Yeah.
But
I don't drink Folgers though. That stuff's dog shit.
Yeah, no, you drink good coffee.
Yeah, I spend money, man. I spend money.
Good. That's why I only use 2.5 scoops. I was like, this has got to be expensive.
I don't give a fuck.
Getting willy-nilly with it.
You know what happens, man, is I don't know about you, but when I look at the way my life is, I treat myself better than what I got when I was a kid. So to me, there were things that I always wondered, dude, why are you being so fucking cheap about this? Why are you dude, I'm a fucking psycho. Last night I turned the air conditioners on because it was 75 degrees.
Yeah, it was
in the
hot
house.
as shit yesterday.
I told Gabby's like, oh, you're and I'm like, dude, I fucking lived in a giant room with two other boys, and my dad's theory was just create a wind tunnel, take one fan and place it in.
Cross ventilation.
Dude, fuck you, Dad. Yeah. Fuck you, man. Fuck you and your cross ventilation. I'm gonna steal your fucking air conditioner, and we'll find out how well that cross ventilation works.
We used to do the same thing because we lived in a row home in Philly.
What a cocksucker, man.
Yeah.
You know, dude. I love him, but fuck you, man.
Air conditioning is expensive, man.
Yeah, fuck him. Then take yours out the window.
Yeah, right. But that's what we used to do too, because it was a row home and you didn't have anything on either side of you.
Yeah.
So we would create cross ventilation.
Yeah, fuck him, man. Fuck cross ventilation. I'm a snob.
Yeah,
I don't give a shit. I will turn the cable off and the internet off
Before
we turn that fucking air conditioner off. I will sit in here and read a book. All right,
As long as I'm cool. Yeah.
I'm not doing it. Gabby's like, man, you really.
That's the greatest invention of our
Dude.
modern times is fucking air conditioning.
So there's this famous, I don't know what he is. He's like an adventurer, Wim Hof.
Yeah, he's all about cold.
I fucking love Wim Hof.
I watched a whole documentary about him one time.
He's pretty extreme.
Yeah.
You know, like his theory is you can climb an ice mountain in your fucking underwear. I mean, dude, he does it.
I know.
He fucking does it, man.
It's pretty fucking fascinating. And he's extremely healthy.
So what it's also proved is by climatizing himself to the conditions of his environment, he is better at fighting off some viruses that we would consider like pretty serious, like tuberculosis and other stuff. And they literally took a sample of his blood into a lab and injected it with live tuberculosis, and it didn't take.
Yeah.
You know, that's fucking insane.
Pretty awesome.
You know? So, and then, like, the whole theory, because I've seen other guys in the past that eat raw meat and, like, you know, and you're like, dude, what the fuck, man? This guy's belly has got to be, like,
yeah.
But they say that it actually is healthier because you're introducing yourself to, you know, things.
Some things that could potentially get you sick, but you're building your immunity to them. So I used to be like that when my kids were little.
Yeah.
Like everybody was like, wash that, sterilize that, and all that. I'm like, no.
Yeah. I don't really
You could
give a shit.
just be conventional and wash it like a normal human being.
Yeah.
Because the kid's not going to have any immunity to anything. You
Yeah,
know?
we're kind of like that. I don't really care. Like, I'll admit, like, I'm not like really like when I see the other kids are sick at my at the school or the daycare wherever the kids are at, I don't fucking care. I know we're all gonna get it, dude.
Right.
It's herd immunity. You know, like you got to get it.
It's like when you were kids and with the chicken pox. Remember, like when you were a kid with chicken pox and your parents would be like, "Go play with them.
Yeah,
let's get it over with.
Yeah, let's fucking do this."
I didn't get chicken pox until I was 18.
Really?
Nah, I didn't get it until I was 18.
And then you got it on your dick.
Yep, first place I got it was my dick. I thought I had. I was just talking to our boy about something similar to this because he used to work for a chocolate company down here in Delaware County.
Yeah, in Eddystone.
Yeah, in Eddystone. He used to work there. And I drive down 291 all the time, and I go, oh, it smells fucking wonderful. Apparently, this was like hell on earth working at this place for him. Like, it was terrible.
Really?
Yeah, he used to have like this awesome fucking Chevy Nova that the seats were just fucking stained with chocolate. Looked like he like had shit all over the fucking car or whatever.
Oh, that's gross.
But he was saying, like, from the chocolate, from working in the chocolate and stuff, and you would sweat and things like that, he would get, like, a yeast infection on his skin. And usually, like, where something like that grows first is, like, in your genitals, obviously.
In your genitals.
So he thought he had, like, an STD or something. He's like, how the fuck did this happen? But I thought the same thing.
Because he's such a ladies' man.
Well, I thought the same thing when I was, like, 18 or so. I fucking got... chicken pox, like right after we graduated high school. I like 3-4 days later.
Dirty bitch! I was
like,
punch her in her face.
Motherfucker! Like, and I was a hypochondriac as it was. Like, I was a really bad hypochondriac as it was, and I just remember that, and I was like, fuck, I got an STD, don't I? And then it turned out like it was just popping up all over my body, and I was like, oh, I got chicken pox.
It still could be herpes, you know.
Well, it's a form of herpes.
Is it really?
I think so.
Oh shit.
Listen, I don't want to say shit and say like I know something I don't.
Nah, I think it's important to say shit and not mean like not know anything, you know. George Washington was definitely like our 15th president, you know. I'm pretty fucking sure of that, you know.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, dude. Nobody fact checks.
Yeah, I don't think anybody goes back and goes, "This guy's a fucking idiot."
Dude,
I just googled what he said.
They only fact check when you attack their political views.
Yeah,
that's really only on the left side. On the right side, they're just like, "Man, you can't say that. That's not fair. Trump was great." Fuck them all. You know?
Yeah.
Dude. We all are like going through like this cycle, man. My kids are all boogery and shit and miserable and they're coughing and they're fucking dude, teaching my kids to cough in their arm or their hand
right
is like an endless fucking battle. When does that stop, dude? My kid will look. I'll be holding my
Look
son.
straight in your face and cough in your
dude,
mouth.
right in my fucking eyeball, dude. Just
yeah, right
You're
into your fucking face. Yeah.
dude, what the fuck, man? You know? Like,
Yep.
oh, sorry, daddy. No, man, not sorry, daddy. I'm gonna fucking throat chop you.
Damage is done.
Yeah.
Yep.
Your spit is on my fucking eyeball because I didn't even have. It was so fast I didn't have chance to close my fucking eyes.
Yep.
Jesus.
Yeah,
Jesus.
Here's this is dumb, but I always
love
wondered-
dumb.
Yeah, remember like when you were a kid, you had like these games that you played with your friends that seemed like they were devised like by you and your friends.
Okay.
Like they weren't like real games. They were like rules that you made up and shit.
Okay.
Out here, did you have a game like we called it Release in Philly?
Capture?
Yeah, I bet you that's what it was. Everywhere I've gone,
Yeah.
everybody has a version of this game, and they call it something different.
Sure.
So you guys called it capture? Was it like you had teams, and like you would
teams.
hide?
Yeah, 2 teams. You capture the other person.
And it was kind of like a survival of the fittest. Like you'd have to capture everybody on the other team, and the other team was it.
Well, yes and no, but you had a base where you would
And
bring
then
the
you could
person back
release
to
them from it. That's why we called it Release, because
Yeah.
somebody would run up and go release, and then everybody would get out, and you had to catch everybody all over again.
Dude, I have a great story about
Those games
this.
never lasted very long, I don't think.
We played them late in the night.
Really?
Dude, we would raise hell down in the village down in Eddystone, man. There was like a lot of us. There was like, I don't know, 15, 20 kids. So we would have 2 teams of like, I don't know, 10,
Right, 7.
8 or 10 kids
Yeah.
on each side. And we would run the whole fucking neighborhood though. Like, dude, you'd be walking around like looking for somebody, and then all of a sudden you would see them like sprint out of the fucking shadows.
Well, here's what my issue was with it. I hate being it. I hate being it. Like, if I got to be it for too long, like, I got to go in. Like, that's it. I'm done.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I loved it,
I
man.
hate being it.
I was
hated
fast.
it.
I was fast. I was like, "Fuck you! You ain't catching me, man."
I was just
I've
think,
gotten
like,
tackled a few times and like fucking slid across the cement and
Yeah.
shit because it was like, ooh.
I would
tried
feel
a little-
like if we say there was fucking 2 teams of 4, if we captured 3 of the kids and then the remaining kid fucking released those 3 kids,
Yeah.
and we had to capture them all over
You're
again.
like, fuck this, I
Like,
quit.
fuck this, dude. Like, this is it. It's like hide and seek. Like, if
Yeah.
it's taking you too long to find anybody,
Yeah.
it's like, all right,
Well, you
dude,
got to
I'm
have
done.
boundaries.
I'm done
So
being
that's
it.
what we learned. We
Yeah,
learned
you had to set a boundary in the beginning of the
because
game.
otherwise these motherfuckers will walk to the other side of like Delaware County, and you're like, dude, I'm not going to Upper Darby to look for you.
I just
Fuck you,
find it
man.
interesting that, like, it felt like it was like a game that we must have came up with on the spot. But it turns out that, like, everybody has a version of this game.
I think so.
Yeah.
It's like tag. It's the same as tag, only
It's
with
kind
teams.
yeah, it's like,
you know.
yeah, right.
Yeah. So listen to this, dude. Check this out. One time in Ridley, my mom bounced around for a little while until she bought a house.
Mm-hmm.
So she had an apartment in Ridley, right on Chester Pike,
Yeah.
and it was like right on the border of Prospect Park and Ridley. That's like right up there on Chester Pike. Where there used to be a Wawa that was on a fucking hill.
Yeah, I know. Which
Remember?
one.
And the
Yep.
trucks in the wintertime, the trucks would slide down into the fucking store.
Yeah, there's a weird fucking parking lot.
And then they had
It's
to
still
start
there, I
putting.
think.
Now it's something else.
Is it?
Or
It's
it's
not
or
there
it's
anymore?
abandoned. I think it's empty.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But they used to, before they had like these big pylon barriers, dude, there was a few times where the snow trucks, like the plow,
we just keep going.
dude, slid right through the fucking store. And you're standing there like, whoa, holy shit. You know, fucking, here comes a fucking snowplow truck, just
Right.
wipes out the glass fucking doors. Like, dude, now he's like, and the cashier is just standing there like, oh shit, it happened again.
Yeah.
So, anyway, we lived right there. My mom lived right there. And there was a lot of kids in that area. So we decided, all right, we're gonna play capture. You know, I think it was like 1, 2, 3 capture or something like that. You had to
yeah.
you had to
You would
yell.
have to grab somebody and go 1, 2, 3, my man, no breaksies. That's what we said in Philly.
Oh, okay.
It was
okay.
1, 2, 3, my man, no breaksies, and that meant you were
My
captured.
man? What
my
did they
man.
throw like a fucking
Dude, I don't know. This
Pulp
is what they
Fiction
fucking
thing
said.
in there?
That's
My
what
man.
they said. But we would, and then you would like walk that person back to the base, which was usually somebody's fucking steps.
Yeah.
And then somebody would have to come up and tag that railing and say release to release everybody.
Well, did you have a guard? We usually had a
Yeah,
guard.
somebody was usually a guard.
Yeah.
But, you know, you could still fucking pop up out of nowhere and be like, release, and then everybody's out.
Sometimes they would fucking bum rush the guard. Like you would have
Yeah.
like 2 or 3 kids, dude, and they would be like, oh, we always
Right.
stuck like the fucking slow kid. Like not
like the
mentally
kid, no,
slow,
like the kid who was
physically
not,
could not
he was
run
not
that
agile,
well.
right?
Yeah, so we would always like stick like, oh, okay, this piece of shit. We'll leave him right here. You know, he's the guard.
The fat kid,
motherfucker. I'm trying to be nice and not say that, but that's honestly the truth. Is like, but dude, I remember one time standing there and I'm watching from like a tree or something. And dude, these two dudes came up, and one kid fucking just like mowed him down. The other kid ran up and like touched the steps or whatever they had to do, like stepped on it and like said whatever bullshit they had to say.
Right.
And then everybody ran away, and I remember thinking, God damn, man, they fucked him up. They like mowed him down, man.
So what's the story now?
Okay. Let me stay on topic here. So let me set the scene here. So we're playing on the edge of Chester Pike. Mm-hmm. Anybody that's listening to the show that is not from our area,
Chester Pike is like a main artery kind of thing.
Dude, it is 2 lanes in each direction, and there is a lot of fucking cars.
So of
course, this is a great spot to play and run around as a young kid, probably wearing a black fucking hoodie.
Yep.
You know, because everybody wanted to like get in camo and shit and like really try to urban hide. You know.
Yeah.
So, dude. At one point, I'm in my little hiding spot. I'm in like a bush or something, and some kid fucking like looks over and sees me, and I fucking sprint, dude. I'm running up Chester Pike, and I went to loop around the backside of this telephone pole because the kid was chasing me. Like he was on my fucking tail. And you ever seen the guidelines that hold the telephone pole in place?
Yeah.
Well, they usually have a yellow plastic slide over it.
Right.
So that you can see it.
Yeah.
This one did not.
Oh, fuck.
And, dude, it went across my chest like a fucking seatbelt. And my little legs kicked fucking straight in front of... Dude, stopped me
like
dead
you
in my
straight
tracks.
up like clotheslined yourself kind of thing.
Flat out clotheslined me, but like across my chest like a fucking diagonal mark. And, dude, it was like purple the next fucking day.
Oof.
Dude, I was like,
yeah, right. Knock the wind out of yourself or something.
So the kids saw it, but none of us could see because it's dark and none of us could see the fucking line. So the kid is like watching in amazement, like, holy shit, what just happened? So then he comes walking up. And then, of course, because kids are shitheads and don't fucking care, he goes, want to do the recapture? And I'm like, over here fucking like, I can't breathe, and I'm like wheezing and shit. And I'm like,
genuinely fucking injured.
What the fuck, man? Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I remember another time there was a kid in a tree, and the dude, he started throwing shit at him and trying to knock him out of the fucking Jesus Christ, dude. You're gonna fucking... Dude, if he lands on his head, he's gonna be fucking slow forever.
It's crazy.
Holy shit, man.
I'm trying to think, like, but I always thought it was like a game that we made up.
Yeah.
And then, but I hated being on the team that had to capture everybody. So it would be like, if everybody got released, I was quitting. I would be like, all right, listen, I gotta go take a shit. And then I'd go in the house or something. And I'd fucking hang out in there for a while, and then I'd come back outside.
Let me know when you guys switch.
Yeah, well, by the time I'd come back outside, I'd be like, oh, you guys still playing? Knowing that they fucking weren't. You know, I'd be like, nah, so-and-so got called home, and, you know, Stephanie had to leave, and blah, blah, blah. Like, and it would be like, oh, good. Okay, good. Yeah. This is over with. Really? I hated games like I hated it. I hated being it, dude. I hated being like the guy that had to do all the work.
What games did you like as a kid? Did you like dodgeball or any of that stuff?
Dodgeball was all right. You know, we had a game... and I don't know if other places... I think we really did make this up.
Yeah.
We called it Rumble Fumble.
Oh, we all played that.
That was a great game.
Yeah.
Where you'd, like, fucking throw the football from behind the goal line.
Yeah.
And it was almost like a...
Whoever catches it, you got to tackle that.
You got to tackle that motherfucker until he can get past the goal line.
Yeah.
And then every time he gets tackled, you throw further out.
Yeah.
I love that game. That was a fun game. I could play that for as long as, you know, anybody wanted to. I enjoyed that.
Yeah,
but I think it was because there was no teams. It wasn't like,
you
know, I don't know. There was something.
You weren't a team kind of guy.
Dude, I never played like organized sports. I never did any of that shit.
It kind of bored the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Like, I played Little League baseball when I was a kid, and
it was like having a job.
Dude, I had a really good arm. I could throw really fucking far.
Mm-hmm.
So they would always stick me in the outfield. And I'm like, dude, I'm bored out of my mind. These little fucking kids can't
They
hit
can't
this
hit the
far.
you know, the ball this fucking far.
So you're standing out there. I used to literally sweat my ass off. So I would take my glove and stick it over my fucking head so that it was kind of like a brim and I could fucking use it to like block the sun. And then I remember my dad... And my dad's not even a sports guy, but he's like standing there watching me. He's like, "What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, right.
Why do you have your glove on your fucking head?" And I'm like, "Because
The sun's on
nobody
my
hits it
fucking
out
eye.
here.
I ain't doing dick
It doesn't
out
matter. I'm in. What was I in? So I hit lefty. It goes to right field. I was in left field. I was in. No, I was in the right field where nobody was a lefty, so nobody ever hit the fucking ball over there.
Ugh.
You know. Center field and left field
where all the action
were all
was.
right if somebody could hit it that far, but they
Right.
really can't. It usually ends up rolling out to you, you know, if the fucking shortstop missed it.
Yeah.
So, anyway, dude, that was
I've been a curmudgeon since I was fucking a baby, dude. Like,
Yeah?
Yeah, always.
Well, so I
Always.
think me too, because like I said, my dad tried to get me into baseball, and I just was like, this sucks. I don't want to fucking do this.
Yeah.
And then I started developing more, that's why I loved skateboarding, because skateboarding...
Something you could do by yourself.
Well, when you think about what skateboarding is, which never really was considered a sport for some weird reason, but it's like extremely physically active thing to do.
Right.
But it's all about self-improvement, and you compete with the other guys that you skate with, but it's more on like a personal level to encourage each other.
Right.
It's like these guys that go to the gym and do powerlifting.
Yeah.
Skateboarding to me, you know what's funny is, dude, I never for some reason talk about fucking skateboarding.
Yeah, it was like
which
a huge part of your life.
30 fucking years of my life. I still skateboard. And now I snowboard, which is like a transition for me because I still skate. I just don't do tricks and shit anymore. I just go to cement parks and just carve around. But it's really about being in the atmosphere and watching like young kids. Dude, some of these young kids nowadays are fucking
phenomenal.
Amazing.
My kids liked it when they were little. I've never been a skater, but we'd take them to like FDR.
Yeah.
And
I helped build a little bit of that.
Yeah?
Well, so it's an interesting story. The back wall, there's a big back wall with an inverted bowl area in the corner. That was not there at all. It was a small quarter pipe that like all the way around the rim.
Mm-hmm.
So my mom drove us up there in her Caprice Classic
I
with
had a
like
Caprice
6
Classic.
fucking kids packed into this thing. I think 2 of them were in the trunk. Like I think
Wow.
they decided like, fuck it, we'll ride back here. Dude, back then that was like like nobody give a fuck. They were like, we're all laughing like, okay, he's
There was
gonna
a lot
ride
of
the
shit
trunk.
that I remember like sitting on my father's lap while he would drive,
Dude,
and steering the car.
my wife has a fucking panic attack because at one point, like a year or two ago, our kids were at the babysitter and I didn't have car seats with me.
Right.
And I was like, okay, they're just going to sit in the back and put a fucking seatbelt on them. You know, that's all I can do. And she's like, And I'm like, dude, I'll drive slow. Listen, once upon a time, kids would sit on their dad's fucking Harley on the gas tank, and the dad would say, hold the fuck on because we're about to go for a ride.
That's true.
And he might have been half drunk,
Yep.
you know, or stoned or on fucking meth, you know, like... You know, that shit's probably still happens, but nobody wants to, like, admit it,
Right.
you know? But, what was I saying? I forget. Anyway, so my mom...
Skateboarding,
My mom
snowboarding,
takes us
yeah,
down to FDR,
right.
and we get there, and we all, like, fucking jump out of this car like a clown car, and as we're running up, some dude in a beat-up pickup truck has, like, a whole pallet of cinder blocks. I mean, this truck was squatted to the fucking ground, like, bottomed out suspension, because he's got a whole fucking pallet full of cinder blocks in the back. So he like yells, "Hey, are you guys coming to skate here?" And then we were all like, we thought like, oh, he must own the place or something. We didn't know. So we were like, yeah, like, you know, and we're like waiting to hear like, oh, well, it's going to be $15 a person, or like we were like worried about like, you know, what's this guy about to say to us? So he goes, if you guys want to skate here, you got to help me unload these fucking cinder blocks, okay? That's the deal. And, like, he looked at my mom to see how my mom was going to react. My mom was awesome. She was just like, get the fuck over there and go help him, you know? So we did. We unloaded the cinder blocks for the back wall to make it as tall as it is now. Like, sections of that wall are the cinder blocks that me and my shithead friends helped unload. Now, we were like, we weren't even driving yet, so we had to be
like 12,
13 maybe-ish, you know? So, but it's cool because when you go down there and you look at it and you think, like, I helped build parts of this fucking thing, you know?
Skateboarding's like, that's a real progression too, man. I remember my kids were like, just dropping in was like, there's all this trepidation about it. Yeah. Oh, should I do it? Shouldn't I do it? You know?
Yeah.
All the time. And they'd have to like encourage each other to do it. And
I think skateboarding is fascinating because it's about self-improvement. And it's always about pushing your boundaries of fear.
And it's not natural. You're not on your natural footing.
You learn how to be graceful.
Yep.
You learn how to be strong. You learn how to trust yourself because foot placement and like good foot control is the whole key.
Yeah.
You know? You learn how to ollie. The ollie is the first trick that you do. Once you learn how to ollie, everything else is based upon the ollie. If you can ollie, you can get up onto a railing. If you can ollie, you can now learn how to flip your front foot to do a kick flip or a heel flip or any variation of any combination of whatever. But you got to learn how to control your feet, which is giving you dexterity. You know, it's giving you strength and usable muscle that you don't realize it's gonna give you the rest of your life if you just keep up with it. You know, actually, I do still skateboard mainly just to stay physically active.
Right.
You know, I'll go down to the cement parks like FDR, or there's a lot of cement parks around here now. When I was a kid, dude, we built everything.
Yeah.
I built the Barrow of Eddystone, chopped up so many fucking ramps that I built. Dude, they would go back there with a fucking sawzall and some hammers and shit and just start busting up all my shit. And you're like, what the fuck? And these kids nowadays are like, oh, this fucking park sucks. And I'm like, dude, do you know
you didn't have shit,
how
but you're lucky, right?
Like I had to build my own ramps out of wood that I stole out of my neighbor's fucking yard. Like, you know, that's like for real. There was a trucking company up in the other end of Eddystone.
Right.
And we would sneak there at nighttime because they had sheets of plywood that they would use inside of the trailers.
Yeah.
So we would steal like fucking 5 or 6 sheets of plywood and then lay them on the skateboards and then wheel them down the fucking road to like a mile away to where we were at so I could build ramps.
Yep.
And in Eddystone, I was like, dude, if you go back and ask everybody, they'll say, oh yeah, Hunter fucking built all these ramps.
I bet you that was the happiest you ever were skateboarding too.
Pretty cool. It was pretty awesome. I got hurt. I got fucked up a couple times, like pretty bad. I fell really bad one time and had went into convulsions and
really,
like a really bad traumatic brain injury.
Oof.
Like fell backwards onto my skull.
That's not
you know.
good.
It was pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
That's where my bad sense of humor comes from. You know.
Yeah, but, I'm trying to think like otherwise though. Like, what do we? I mean. Other than that, like, I wasn't big on doing a whole lot of that kind of stuff. Like, dude, I could think back to, like, being, like, 4 years old.
Yeah.
And feeling like I didn't want to be bothered.
Yeah.
You know? Like, you know what Lucy the Elephant is?
No.
Down the shore?
No.
The giant fucking elephant building.
I don't know.
You don't know nothing about Lucy the
Where's
Elephant?
it? What beach?
I don't know.
Yeah.
This is how much of a jerk off I am. I know it's down at the Jersey Shore.
What the fuck, John?
I don't know if it's Wildwood. I don't know if it's Sea Isle. I don't know.
Maybe it's gone.
If somebody out there is listening and can tell me where the fuck Lucy the Elephant is, I'm going to tell you right now I don't give a fuck. All right? But here's the thing, dude. When I was like 4, my father was a tile setter. So we'd have these jobs. We lived in Belmar, New Jersey. So we'd have these jobs all over fucking wherever the fuck, Philly, Jersey, whatever. And he was a really well-known tile setter. And we went down to Jersey, and he was like, we're going to go see Lucy the Elephant. And I was like, okay, I don't give a fuck, but whatever. So Lucy the Elephant basically was this giant fucking structure. It was like the fucking Statue of Liberty kind of thing. You know, like you could walk up inside this bitch and fucking observe the world from Lucy the Elephant. Yeah. So you would like, if Lucy's leg was like right here, you would go inside, there would be a doorway, you'd walk up her fucking leg up the steps. And you'd get up to like her fucking body and her head and shit like that. You could probably Google it.
I know. That's
and
what
then
I'm about
like
to do right
inside
now.
of it was like this real plush kind of like setup. Like it was real comfortable looking in there. It was decorated nice. And you could walk up to where the head of the elephant was, and you could observe all of New Jersey through like the eyes of fucking Lucy the elephant. You know what I mean? You find it?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's in, what does it say? Margate.
Margate. There you go. It's in Margate. Yeah. So we went there. I remember going there as a kid and just like being like, dude, I don't want to be here. You know? I got Castle Grayskull at home. That thing's got a trap door in it. And I got better shit to do than look at New Jersey through the eyes of a big-ass elephant.
It's kind of creepy looking.
Yeah, it's really creepy looking. It's like got like these big goofy eyes and
Yeah. Who the fuck made this thing?
I don't know, man. People from Jersey.
I want to live in it. Is it for sale?
Yeah, I mean it looks like something that like
it's all broken down. Here's a recent picture.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's all fucked up and dilapidated, which is even cooler. That's even creepier. It's all like black and fucking scary looking.
Looks like a fucking Oh, Jesus Christ. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's fucking zombie-ish, dude.
Looks
I
like the fucking Wicker Man. You ever see the movie The Wicker Man?
It probably is made out of like fiberglass, so it'll catch on fire instantly.
Yeah.
I like it, man. I want to live
Yeah,
there.
well, I remember when I was a kid, we went there, and I was just like, this is not something I want to be doing. You know? But that's how I've been my whole life. Just leave me alone. Let me play with my fucking toys.
Dude,
Let me
in
draw my pictures.
In high school, I remember before I learned that you could draw, I do remember thinking, oh, this guy's kind of a grumpy fuck. Now,
me?
Yeah. But in context, now as an adult talking to you and you explaining like that your father just passed away,
Yeah.
it all makes sense.
I don't think I
But-
was like unapproachable. I just wanted to get the fuck out of school.
Well, so once I saw you drawing a Led Zeppelin cover with like the chicks walking on the rocks,
yeah.
and then I like pulled out my notepad and started like drawing next to you, and you were like, oh, okay, you know, and then like, then we had a connection, you know, but I was gonna make a joke and be like, dude, at fucking 4 years old, like my kid's upstairs, like at 4 years old, John was like, where's the fucking coffee? I don't give a shit. Where's my guitar? I'm just gonna.
Dude, all
I'm gonna
cared
listen to
about-
some Nirvana and fucking just grunge out.
When I was that age, my whole life was my action figures. That's all I cared about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I did not fucking want to go out into the world and do anything. I just wanted to fucking play with my fucking He-Man shit or my fucking superhero shit and just leave me alone.
Dude, when you
I'm
think
cool.
about He-Man, like, the character looks very gay.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not trying to, like... I
When
know
you're
that
fucking
somebody...
3 and 4 years old, you're not thinking of
but
that.
with the haircut, the weirdest fucking
Weirdest
haircut.
bowl haircut.
But
yeah.
then, like, the big muscles and the fucking thing across his chest and everything. Like, dude...
the loincloth that's like
Dude.
made out of fur.
Dude,
Yeah.
you look super gay, man.
Yeah. And it was like a super colorful fucking toy line, too. It was like...
Yeah.
It was mind-boggling. But it was everything that it needed to be to, like, attract children to like it.
Well, so in
you
the
know?
in the 80s, though, that was like dude...
For
which
me,
I think,
She-Ra killed it. Once
Yeah.
they came out with, like, a female version of He-Man that was, like, a companion to it that girls could play with, I was like, I can't play with this shit anymore. It's a fucking girl's toy.
So what's interesting is anytime, I swear, maybe Hollywood's always been doing this, and maybe just because we didn't live through it back then that we didn't notice. But, dude, there's nothing I despise more. Like, when they made a Ghostbusters with all
girls,
women,
yeah.
I was like, what the fuck is this?
It's to me, it's like pandering.
Dude, you literally... You know, like, why did you do this? I don't understand. Like, you were
Yeah.
like, oh, well, we have this great thing that everybody loves. It's iconic American fucking movie.
Do you think no women liked it before?
I think we need to make one that has just women. Like, right now, dude, I don't know, whatever. Let's not go down that fucking
No, I
road.
get what you're saying, though.
Yeah.
It's like...
You know what I wanted to ask you? I did want to... So let me pause it for a second because I want to shout out Mr. Alvin Shitcastle.
Alvin
I
S.
love saying his fucking name, dude. Shitcastle. It makes me giggle every time. But I'm like a childish...
Yeah.
Like, I still have 90s humor. Like, dude, a shitcastle to me is hilarious, you know? So, anyway, the song that he wrote that, did you guys...
No, I think he actually... He records a lot of stuff, like, on his own.
Yeah.
And apparently it was based on, like, somebody he works with.
Oh, really?
Like, he was going to call the whole project, like, Becky and the Nasty Boys or something. And it's, like, some chick that he works with, some older lady, who apparently is, like, a real grumpy, grouchy chick or something.
Oh, I love it. They're my favorite.
basically what she does is she drinks coffee and she talks shit. So he fucking recorded the song, and it's just like this real like fast punk rock kind of song. And
I love it.
Yeah, it's cool as shit. And
So-
the only lyrics are drink coffee, talk shit. Drink coffee, talk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And but when I heard it, he sends them to me, and like I usually will comment on them or something, or we'll talk about them or some shit. And I was like, dude, that's me and Chris's podcast.
Yeah.
We drink coffee and we talk shit.
I'm out of coffee. I'm sad right now.
That was a good fucking cup
So
of coffee today.
I just wanted to say directly to him that the song, I loved it. This might be insulting. I hope not. But believe it or not, I was a fan of Hole. Courtney Love's group Hole. Because there was some songs that didn't make it on the radio that had more of a grungy fucking... And his song reminded me of one that I used to love, and it was real grungy, crunchy guitar, you know? But it also, like his song also had the very punk rock feel to it too, you know, with some like upbeat, you know, notes in it. So like, I don't know, man, it felt so 90s. As soon as I heard it, I was like, oh, fuck
There's
me.
a point in there where I'm listening to it, and it really reminds me of that Nirvana song, Territorial Pissings.
Oh,
Because
dude.
it's really fast, and it's almost like it might even be the same chord because I instantly recognized it or whatever.
Dude, that is, in my opinion, one of the greatest
Songs on that album.
90s, well, even just like 90s, like if you wanted to explain like how like angry and like volatile 90s youth were, that's the song that I always go to. I think it's such an underrated song. Like everybody else,
I think the second half of Nevermind is better than the first half of Nevermind.
Yeah.
That album, yeah.
I think that there's a lot of Nirvana stuff that most people like it drives me nuts when I see young kids walking around with Nirvana t-shirts and they like, I really liked Heart Shaped Box, and I'm like, yeah, that was like a good song.
My brother
but
fucking hates it. My
know.
brother hates Nirvana.
Yeah.
But he's like a few years older than me.
Yeah.
So I don't think he fully understands, like, a lot of it isn't just like, oh, well, I love Nirvana because the music's so good or whatever. Like, obviously, the guy is a very basic guitar player. He's a good songwriter. He's not a great musician.
His lyrics.
Yeah, he's a good songwriter. He's not the greatest musician, like, technically.
But it doesn't... So that's the problem with music is... Like, you and I look at artwork.
Right.
And we're looking for technical. At least I am. When I see somebody, I want to see that their proportions are correct. No matter what you're drawing...
You got to have technique, and you got to be creative.
Yeah.
Like, there has to be a creativity to it, and there has to be a technique to it.
So when I listen to Nirvana, I hear a lot of creativity. Dude, some of the shit that they come up with, and it's not always about...
Some of it is just the sound.
Yeah.
Like the production of the music, too.
My favorite song of all time is not even a Nirvana song. It's the last song off of the Unplugged in New York.
Where Did You Sleep Last Night?
Dude,
the Lead
that
Belly
song like resonates in my soul like forever. It just, I don't know why. When I listen to it, dude, it like it's the saddest fucking song I could ever think of. You know?
Yeah,
like to me, like, you know, it is extremely painful. Like, dude, when I'm hurting, that's the song that I listen to, man. It's like a hidden part of me when life is really fucking hurting me right now.
Yeah.
Like, dude, that is definitely on the playlist.
I think that he recorded that with Mark Lanegan at some point, too.
Really?
Yeah, Mark Lanegan was the lead singer of Screaming Trees.
Yeah.
And he did, like, a ton of other music with everybody. He was in Queens of the Stone Age. He was, like... I love Mark Lanegan. Like, I love Mark Lanegan. But, like, a fucking... Almost like an endless... fucking catalog of music. Like, I could listen to Mark Lanegan all day long and not hear everything. You know what I mean? Like, he's on a lot of shit. And but I think like him and Kurt Cobain did like a recording of Where Did You Sleep Last Night that was completely separate. Yeah. And I think Mark Lanegan sings it, and I think Kurt played the guitar or some shit.
No kidding.
Yeah.
So
I think I could be wrong. I know Mark Lanegan is singing it, but I'm almost...
So they did perform that song. Actually, believe it or not, Kurt and Courtney, that was one of the few songs that they ever did together a few times live.
Really?
I guess I don't really talk about it a lot, but I was like a huge Nirvana fan.
Yeah, so was I when I was young. Yeah.
So like, and then like even Courtney, I did like Courtney's music, you know, like sometimes it was very poppy But there was stuff like you and I are music heads. So it's like, okay, you hear a song that's catchy on the radio, but then you go back and listen to the album and you always find the gold.
Yeah, like the
didn't
other
get
shit.
released.
Right.
It didn't, it's on the album. You got to listen to.
It's like I just said, like the second half of Nevermind.
Yeah, dude.
It's better.
Yeah.
Not that those songs suck, but like those first, like, I don't know, like 5 songs on that album, they're all hits.
Yeah.
I mean, even like a song that didn't get released on the radio, like Polly, is like a hit.
Yeah.
But like Drain You, Territorial Pissings, Lounge Act, those songs are fucking phenomenal.
And then when you go back and listen to Bleach, you're like, dude, these guys had so much depth.
Yeah, they're good.
Oh, man, excuse me.
Yeah, but when he sent me that, I was like, man, I immediately was like, dude, this like reminds me of the podcast. He was like, if you want to use it, you can use it.
Yeah.
He was like, you want me to put drums over it? And I was like, I don't think you need to.
Yeah,
I like it just the way it is.
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna play with it. We're gonna do some stuff.
I think we should. That should be like our new intro or outro or something. Yeah.
When did you become a music head, man? When did you like really?
When did I like really start caring about it?
Yeah.
I guess like around like 13 or so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oddly enough,
well,
I will say that
that's a whole story on its own. I got like inspired by somebody, my 7th grade teacher, who was she was like 27.
Yeah.
And like to this day, I still look back and I'm just like, she was like one of the most influential people in my life. She fucking.
How were her tits?
She was beautiful. She was a beautiful lady. Yeah.
Yeah, but don't be modest.
Nah, I gotta be. I really. This is like somebody like. I really put her high up there on a pedestal.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
She's a big deal.
You're putting the pussy on the pedestal.
She died. So I don't
Damn,
know.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm over here talking all this shit.
Yeah,
What
she
a
passed
worthless.
away.
I'm such a fucking
I think
asshole.
like 2017 or so.
Damn.
Yeah, which like I only knew her for a few years. I guess like you have so many students, like you don't really, as a teacher, you might like create like a rule where like I can't keep up with everybody.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. But I remember going to her funeral and her husband being like, "Oh, I know who you are."
Yeah, yeah.
Like she was a big deal to me. Like with the artwork and all that stuff, and she played guitar. She got me into playing guitar. She would teach me how to play shit. Like during gym class and stuff like that. Like she was a big deal.
Huh.
Yeah, especially she was a phenomenal artist. Phenomenal. Like, she would be like, let's go over to the empty classroom. I'll show you my portfolio or whatever. And I'd just sit there for an hour looking at her shit. She was cool.
Yeah.
She was young, She was like you think about it, like she's like 27 when I was like 13.
Yeah.
You think back on it now, like 27, you were a kid,
Yeah, and it's crazy because I remember having like inspirations like that too and meeting older people that I thought were older, but they were in their like 20s or
Yeah, they were
20s.
still young.
Like skateboarding wise, to bring it back to that briefly, is, dude, my mom lived in these apartments that were in like Aston Mills or something like that. But there was these 2 older kids that were probably, I don't know, 18 or 20. Like they were like late teens, early 20s. And they're skateboarding. And I've never in my life seen a kid ollie up over a curb and land and keep rolling. I'd never seen it before in my life. And I remember standing there fascinated watching them.
Yeah.
And I was probably, I don't know, 8 or 10 or something like that. Like I was pretty small. I was a young kid.
It's always like something small like that. This like little intricate detail that just like fucking keeps you on that path.
I was, for the better part of my life, I was obsessed with skateboarding because I saw this kid pop the board in the air and land up on a higher thing. And I remember thinking, whoa, how the fuck did he do that? And that was an obsession. So then they taught me how to ollie. They were the kids that sat there and they were like, okay, my mom bought me a skateboard, and like we sat in the grass because the wheels sunk down into the mud in the grass, and they wouldn't shoot out from underneath of you if you were trying to learn how to ollie. That's what they told me. Stand in the grass over there and just keep practicing popping the board, And I'm like doing it, and I'm doing it, and I'm like, I think I'm doing it. And they're like, yeah, okay, keep trying. And the board might have like gone like a half a fucking inch off the ground. But it like now I can ollie like up onto this fucking table right here.
No shit, yeah.
Yeah, even still to this day, like even fat and out of weight, and like, believe me, if I ollied onto this table, that's it. We're tired. We're done for the day.
Needs to go lay down.
Let's go fucking take a rest now. but like, you know, like it's just, I always think, I love looking at my children and wondering, what is the spark? What is the thing that's going to set them on their path?
Right.
Like, I'm watching them and I just keep seeing, like, you like all these different things. What is the thing that you're going to fall in love with?
Yeah, what's that thing that like makes you geek? Like Victor geeks out over engines.
Yeah?
He just like he loves cars, he loves engines,
Yeah.
and like that's what he cares about. And I don't understand it.
Yeah,
because
I do
it's not
too.
my thing. Yeah, obviously it's your thing, but it wasn't. It was never like my thing. You know.
Yeah.
Whereas like me, it's like if I see somebody who can draw something in pen and ink or something,
Yeah.
you know, or if I see like a great comic book artist, that's the thing that like made me go, I'm never gonna stop drawing ever in my life, you know?
I mean, I'm just speculating. I don't know your son that well. I've talked to him a few times,
Right.
but as a kid, I remember going in high school and I didn't give a shit about cars. My dad had dirt bikes and stuff, but we never really hot rodded them. Like, we would take them apart and fix them, but I didn't understand the premise that you could make things faster or stronger or more powerful until we got into high school and a couple kids had some really cool cars. And even then I didn't quite understand. And it wasn't until, I think I was in Germany and a buddy of mine was like, here, we're going to put these injectors on here and we're going to change the computer out and do some shit. And then all of a sudden I drove it and was like, whoa, this thing is a lot fucking faster. And it slowly progressed. But then, because my parents are always my influence, is I came home and my dad was building hot rods. But they weren't very fast, but they were cool looking cars. And that's like, it all started evolving into this like obsession of like, okay, build a cool motor, go faster. The motor thing to me is about peer acceptance. So like my buddy Dave had a fast car. And some other friends that we had all had fast cars. So then you want to be like them. So like your son, we talked to him one day and he's sitting here telling me that he drove 1,000 horsepower fucking Crown Vic. First of all, listen, kid, I know you want to be accepted by me because you
Right.
see me as a car guy, but you sound silly because 1,000 horsepower is an ungodly amount of fucking power. I have never driven 1,000 horsepower car because I would probably die. And I'm a very experienced driver that's used to very high horsepower cars, but not that much. That's a lot. That is an absurd amount of fucking power that you really have to work your way up towards. So to just jump in a car that your friend built that has 1,000 horsepower and driving around the neighborhood is not fucking possible, dude. It would fucking, the moment you stepped on that gas pedal, it would disappear and you'd hit a telephone pole. You know, like you're like the fucking Back to the Future car. You're like the DeLorean, dude. You're gonna fucking, you know, you're gonna fucking wipe out, man.
Yeah. See, I don't even know what that means, the horsepower thing.
So when he said that, I just kind of chuckled. Even the dude Tim, who's got an 800 horsepower car, which
Right.
is unbelievably fucking fast, you know, the guy that's in the garage out back of my building over there. So we both kind of looked at each other like, oh, okay, that's cool, man. You know, like, because you don't want to burst his bubble and like tell him like, come on, dude, you know, you're stretching the truth a little bit here right now, you know. And I'm not trying to put him down.
No.
Because as a 20-year-old guy, I've been in those shoes where I remember as a kid, and this was a big joke for a long time, is that I would tell people that I build race cars, kind of like what your son does. Oh, I'm great. I can do this. I can do that. You want to do that,
Right.
but you haven't done it yet.
Right.
But if you keep the enthusiasm up, you will do it. So the big joke amongst my friends is that if you need a motor taken apart, give it to Chris.
Give it to Chris.
Because I was really bad about like, oh, really? You have a Chevy 350? Can I have it? And then like I would disassemble it to see like how it worked. But then it would sit in the corner of my shop and rust away because I would never put it back together. I didn't have money to put it back together. I didn't have money to hot rod it or buy different heads. But now it's different. Now I have several motors in my shop, you know, and one that I'm going to start building very soon. And it's going to be a big horsepower motor. And it's like, it just takes time and patience and learning patience and learning that like you got to work your way through this and think your way. And you can't just push and push and push because you're gonna break some shit, you know. And your son, man, listen, he's a 20-year-old guy. He's doing what 20-year-old guys do. I never once took offense to him. I just kind of chuckle and go, all right, man, you'll figure it out. You know, like, you're all right. He's getting there. I have a nephew, same way. He's a 20-year-old guy. It doesn't matter about ethnicity or culture or religion or politics or any bullshit. All 20-year-old guys are fucking morons. Not because your intelligence is small. You're not dumb.
Right.
You're just a fucking moron because you have no experience.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
That's my opinion. So, like, I know that there was a huge amount of anxiety with Victor coming to work for me and do some stuff for me.
Right.
And I was just like, dude, don't worry about it, man. He's 20. He's doing what 20-year-olds do, you know? I never once was like, what the fuck, John? I can't believe you sent your fucking kid over here to fucking, you know, smear paint all over my floors in my goddamn apartment. I walked in there and was just like, yep, this is pretty much what I paid for.
That came out all right.
It came out all right.
Yeah, a little bit clean up.
I mean, for a few $1,000s more, I could have gotten a very professional job, but that's for a few $1,000s more.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Music and kids and dogs fucking bouncing around upstairs.
How long have we been at this?
We're getting there, man. We're getting there. It's almost time for some music.
All right.
You hungry? You tired?
I'm tired as fuck.
Yeah?
Yeah.
No second episode today? Oh, okay.
Well, I think, yeah, man. It was a fun little wake-up conversation.
Yeah.
This was good.
Maybe next week it'll be a little more awake. You know? Yeah. I mean, on the timeline, it's going to be a week from now, but for us, it'll be
5 minutes from now.
5 minutes.
Yeah.
Roll the music.
Thanks for listening to Renaissance Man-Child. Renaissance Man-Child is a Yardbird Tuna production. If you enjoyed the show, please like, follow, and share. Any ideas or suggestions, feel free to reach out to us on Facebook or Instagram.
Oh, shit!
You talk good.